So looks like videos are done, players are ready, and we're going to be jumping into the Old Sun Temple, one of the larger maps on the map pool of four-player spawn map as well. True. We do have a couple of four-player spawn maps. Unfortunately, no X-Arc. I am a little bit sad about that for sure. I'm disappointed that it did not get vetted in. But here we go, spawning in the right-hand corner of the Old Sun Temple. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player himself, the red Terran himself. It is Percival. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Let's go. Let us go. As far as I know, they're exploring a mod patch, which isn't the first time it's happened. Yeah. We've had to play on mods before to patch the game. That happened with the Cyclone mod. True. Did happen with the Cyclone mod. As Percival, again, welcome to the Old Sun Temple. You can spawn in 4 different locations: top left, top right, bottom right, or bottom left. And Percival here will risk it all with the proxy racks. Let's go. Does proxy dead set in the center here of Old Sun Temple. Now, when it comes to this map and when it comes to scouting, X-Arc and Fear and Faith did make use of the monorail system, attaching and connecting all the bases. Here instead, we have speed zones. You can see speed zones here all around the center. This does help speed up scouting. Does help. But as we can see, herO is going for a gate expand, going for a bit of a later probe scout from the side of herO. But it looks like he is going to be checking the left-hand side. Yeah, he's going to find Percival immediately. So very fortunate here. herO, he will confirm that the Rax is missing. He will confirm. Are any of the new maps particularly funky? I mean, we have a couple of 4-player small maps like this. We do have Rorschach, which is very aggressive and very intense. Rorschach features a healing pad dead set in the center of the map. Those are the ones that come to mind. There are some more aggressive maps, but they're more traditionally aggressive, like Rainfall. And there are some more like kind of mid-tier maps or like middle-of-the-road maps as well. But if you're looking for anything like crazy chaotic, I think the closest you're going to find is Rorschach, just because of the healing pad. Here's Rorschach is a small map, short rush distance by ground, and a healing pad in the main attack path. That's the as Reaver does poke in. Yeah, it does poke in, and so far we'll disrupt the early game here, denying some mining. Killing 1 probe so far. Does he get 2? Oh, he does. Yeah, 2 probe kills, not bad. As behind this, we are expanding. Okay, so just initially some Reaper aggression to get some damage done early on. That's going to be 3 probes falling, not bad. And then behind this, going for our own follow-up into CC on the high ground into our own early game. Ooh, nice catch. herO can intercept. He's looking. He's looking, and so far, herO, he does catch the Reaper. Yeah, it does catch him in the end. We'll lock him down. Reaper cannot escape. That was 2 Reapers for 3 probes. In the end, I would still say a better trade for herO, especially considering the Rax is in the air. So the Rax isn't able to help when it comes to making add-ons or any kind of additional production. Production is delayed for Percival. In the end, I would say that this was not quite worth it for the Terran. Not quite. Back at home, we do have our tech follow-up here, going Twilight Council, most likely into Blink. Whether we go 2-gate, 3-gate, or 4-gate Blink Stalker, we'll keep an eye on herO. Keep an eye on him. As Hallucination does move in. Does confirm the follow-up here. There's no add-on on the starport. Doesn't have to worry about Banshees, about Raven Harass. Oh, okay, a delayed add-on swap. I like it. Este Percival. Cheeky moves out of Percival, going for a delayed swap here, going into Cloak Banshee. This is a big risk, considering that because it's delayed, this does mean that Percival's main production line is going to be late as well. Like, again, later Rax production, later factory as well. Everything has been delayed in favor of Cloak Banshee. And we'll see if it goes unscouted. Oh, that's We don't see that too often. Hallucinated Warp Prism is coming in, and we'll see if herO can scout the tech lab. Warp Prism does break in, confirm stim, and does confirm the tech lab as well. He sees. Yeah, he sees, he knows. Despite the backflips that Percival's been doing here to hide his builds, he gets scouted. Scouted in the end. This will prompt herO to get a robot. He already has one. He already has a safety robot here. Observer is now being chronoed. It was now on the way. Is now awakening his detection. Safety battery in the main base mineral line as well. And a safety battery in the natural mineral line. So batteries in both bases, detection as well. Low chance of the base to do damage. This is a rougher start for Percival. And it is a rougher start. Banshee moves in and might even catch a sentry. Sentry goes down, but so far just a sentry. Yeah, just a sentry and one probe. Yeah, one probe and a sentry. Banshee falls, Raven harassed into the main or into the natural base, but batteries are in position, and so far herO, he defends well. He defends well, likewise building up in towards the bay and towards splash damage. herO so far looking good. Picking away at the Marines. Oh god, as we pick, I mean, I say we pick away, that's 10 Marines going down, that's crazy. 10 Marines have fallen, the Percival, he's being bullied. Blinking into the main base, going for the tech lab. Denying combat shields, one more volley, he gets it. He gets it, bleeds out one Stalker. Still a much better trade for herO. And Percival's getting picked apart. But again, as we mentioned before, a big reason for this is because of the rougher of the game. Very rougher of the game. The add-on swaps, the delayed production, everything was late for Percival. Later than normal, and it wasn't worth it. In the end, it was not worth it. The Banshees did not pay for themselves. Raven denies some mining. Oof, Medevac gets sniped. Colossus has arrived. And with help of Colossus, yeah, herO, he does shut this down. Percival expanding towards herO, let's go. Getting a CC on location, herO, he will scout this. Now, when it comes to these base locations, we didn't really get to speak much on the map itself, but the bases, I would say, are relatively defendable. We can see a very narrow choke point coming into the natural. Here as well, we can see we have a wall off here on the top side. There's only one entrance here towards the right-hand side instead. So you can centralize your army, and it's going to be a little bit difficult for any kind of run-bys or aggression to really hit this. I would say that this is one of the maps where it is easier to turtle up on 4 bases on, and easier to expand and get a 5th base as well, compared to Fear and Faith and compared to Exarch. Compared to the other 4-player spawn maps. Despite that, because of herO's lead, it's still going to be difficult here to try to get into the mid game. The pressure is still very much so on Percival. Colossus moving in now to 2 Colossi. Oh. Yeah, swipes on the Marines. A lot of Marines go down already. Heavy losses for Percival. The lasers, they just dominate. And Marines getting forced back. More Stalkers reinforced, catching out one of the Vikings. Gets one, gets 2. Yeah, 2 Vikings go down. And Percival cannot mine. He cannot mine from this base. Again, the losses from earlier were just too great. The devs, that was too much. Prism has arrived for reinforcements. Colossus, they kite away. Not the juggling. He juggles well. And herO snowballs out of control. With that, herO, he breaks the 3rd expansion. There is no mining, there is no army. GG gets called, and herO takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. herO, he will take a lead in the series. Again, a very rough early game for Percival. Winding it back, went for the proxy racks. In the end, he got shut down. He killed 3 probes for 2 Reapers. Likewise, we saw Percival also delay his follow-up tech as well, trying to blindside his opponent, trying to play around a little bit with his timings, but in the end, he got scattered as well. And in the end, Percival, he was shut down. The Cloak Banshee was not worth it. And GG well played. Percival was just playing from behind. He was being bullied, punished for that deficit, and herO does snowball out of control. GG well played. With that, herO takes the lead, and now we're getting into game number 2. As we get into game 2, a big shout in the chat to Inco, Inco, papi. Gracias. Thank you so much for subscribing for 8 months. Thank you so much. We appreciate the support. Gracias, papi. Gracias. I didn't see an alert. I'll try to fix that up. But here we go, spawning in the bottom hand corner of BlackRock. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. Oh. Leading the series 1-0, representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the red Terran player. The red Terran himself, the South Korean Terran, down in the series. Can he bounce back and make a series out of this? It is Percival. Here we go. So we're going to be opening up. Welcome one and all to BlackRock. BlackRock is going to be a more aggressive map of the map pool. The rush distance by ground isn't too short. I will say that there are areas here where you can engage ahead of time when it comes to making use of the tall grass or these choke points as well. But I will say that the third and fourth bases are very open. They're very, very open here and very exposed. So we'll see. We'll see if the defending player can maintain themselves. I would say that aggression is favored on BlackRock. Likewise, as you can see, this is a Warcraft 3 inspired map. We do see our watchtowers here. We have our orc decorations with aesthetic. There we go. Orc aesthetic. As we mentioned earlier here, the orc models were removed and they were replaced by Tauren Marines, which is still in theme, to be fair. And I know it's a model that I didn't know existed, to be fair. Had no idea. So I appreciate it's still within theme. ¿Es en vivo? Sí, sí, es en vivo. Also coming back to playing again after several years, just looking to know which maps I gotta play different. I mean, if you're asking about that, there are, of course, maps that are more aggressive. There are other maps that are more defensive. As we try to mention here, for example, like there's nothing too crazy about BlackRock, but the fourth base and the third base are more spread out and they're more accessible here, so it can be difficult to be the defending player. Can be quite difficult. And so far it is going to be a single gas opener, but racks into factory, delayed CC. Interesting. So a later command center here by Percival. I believe this is scouted by herO, checking his vision. Yep, does scout the factory. So herO is aware. Will hide the probe in the tall grass. Does keep it hidden. And comes in for the rescout. herO needs to confirm if is this a crazy one base all in, or can he even delay the CC? Oh. Ooh, not quite. Does at least confirm, though. Confirms the command center. As he does chase down the Reaper. One more shot. Oh, the Jinx! Can he get out? Where are we going? And in the end, we do regenerate some HP. True. The HP does regenerate, and Percival gets away. He does barely slip away. I say that the Shade will allow for one more shot to connect. But he's starting to regen. Ooh, yeah, it does regen in time, and Percival pulls out. It does pull out in the end. Does pull away. Meanwhile, Stargate opener out of herO. Okay, interesting choice. Stargate openers are rarer in TVP, not unheard of, but they're a little bit rarer here. With this, we can go Oracle first into Phoenixes to try to harass. We do have a commitment to Reaper Hellion. And herO has time to respond. Does snipe one Reaper, but some heavy losses for herO. Back at home, we need a wall. We need SimCity. We do need that SimCity. herO trying to be proactive. We'll shoot first. Hellion taking a lot of hits. Very nice engagement. herO does snipe one of the Hellions. Some miscontrol to Percival. Doesn't get into the tall grass in time. Did not cancel the shots. herO pulls away. We once again trade with the Hellion. Yeah, we trade with the Hellion, and in the end, herO he does hold. It was a bit of a back and forth trade here. In the end, it was 2 Hellions and 2 Reapers for 2 Adepts and a Stalker. I'll still say a better trade for herO, considering that Percival was hoping for economic damage. He wanted economic damage, and he doesn't get it. There's that first Oracle, moving out across the map. Now remember, because the Reapers were fixated on damage, it does mean that Percival didn't get a scout off. It means that Percival, he has no idea what's in the main base. He does not know that it's not a Twilight Council, that it's a Stargate instead. So that's the downside of that Reaper aggression. 0 scouting. Marines in between the bases. The bunker is done, but SCVs will go down. Getting 1, 2, 3 SCV kills. Just 2 for the time being. I still find 3. Yeah. Getting up to 3, 4, getting up to 5. 5, 6 SCVs, getting up to 7 towards the end. A very nice damage here for herO. This Oracle does pay for itself and even gets a scout off. It confirms the tech lab on the starport. Does well the tech labs. Reaper is denied. Oh. Oh no! Yeah, Reaper was a name move. We have a Widowmine drop into the main base, and with the retargeting, does get a Stalker and 2 probes. Okay, nice shot towards the end, but this is still not enough. Again, Percival is playing from behind. He will lose the medevac and both Widowmines. Technically, that was a really good mine shot, but that was 2 probes and a Stalker for 2 Widowmines and a medevac. So it's all cleaned up. With that herO, he maintains map control. He establishes his 3rd base. Ay, ay, ay. As herO moves in. Once again, just pulling Percival apart. Does pull him apart here. Catching out 2 SCVs. Oof. Turning back the army. And again, just chipping away at the horses here. And then herO doesn't have to commit. He's already done enough damage to get ahead. herO already has a very comfortable lead. Anything else is just a bonus. Just bonus damage. This Percival is going to be zoned away. herO is free to build up his own production. No splash damage yet, to be fair, but he's just building up in towards being Stalkers. And towards a greater gateway army. We have 5 gates on the way, Pappy. Oh, the gateways. Stargate against Terran is good again. Stargate play has been, do I say common? You'd always see it in series at this level of play. So if you haven't seen Stargate play, then you've not been watching StarCraft recently, Pappy. So we would see a lot of Stargate play. I say a lot of Stargate play. You'd see it mixed into the series. It's, to be fair, it is a little bit stylistic. Like, we would see Stargate play mixed in by players like herO, Classic, and Zaun. Someone like MaxPax, if you only watched like European StarCraft, MaxPax didn't really play much Stargate. He would not really mix it in too much. So you could argue it's a little bit stylistic. MaxPax, he would rarely deviate from Twilight Council Blink Stalker play. Rarely deviate. Ooh. So far, nice armor shred. It does shred the armor, and more Stalkers gonna be warping in. And once again, the Bio Army just is not quite here. We do have a couple of Marauders dusting forward, but again, we're running out of Marines, running out of buffer. Does not have enough. Here he blinks well. Yeah, he does blink well here, and we're just running out of buffer. Avoid some mine shots. Marauders are now exposed. They're going to start going down. That was the backbone of the army. Down to 2 Marauders. Down to 2. Oh, we just blink in. There it is. Does blink forward. Lifting up the Cyclone. And we're down to 3 Marauders. Down to 2 once again, and there's just nothing else remaining. Nothing else here. We just chase down the army, and with that, GG gets called. herO, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. With that, herO, he will claim the series. Winding it back here, how did everything fall apart? We spoke about it earlier. Percival went for a very aggressive start. He went for a single gas opener into Rack's factory, into heavy Reaper Hellion aggression. Because of that, Percival did forego scouting information, so we had no idea what was going on. He needed the Reaper Hellion to do economic damage, but we saw that because herO scouted, he engaged ahead of time. herO, he was able to engage ahead of time, engage with the army, shut it down in the center of the map, and it meant that 1, there was no economic damage, 2, there was no scouting either, and the Oracle did catch him off guard. Percival, he was caught with his pants down. The Oracle popped off in the main base, killed 7 SCVs, got away. Then, because of the Fiend's follow-up, and because Percival was already committed with a mine drop, he lost the mine drop as well. doing minimal damage. Also doing minimal damage. So Percival just fell further and further behind, and herO did snowball out of control from there. GG. GG, well played with that herO who will claim the series. And with that, we have our grand finals. It is going to be a best of 5 between herO and Shin. Let's go. Let us go.